Welcome back to the Word of Wisdom channel. In the beginning of the world, God created the heavens and the earth. On the second day, God also created the angels, including the archangels and cherubim who would inhabit the heavens. Among these magnificent beings were Gabriel and Michael, renowned for their splendor. However, there was another entity who stood out due to his exceptional beauty and splendor, known as Lucifer. He was the most important creature ever created by God, but his pride led to arrogance, vanity, and endless haughtiness. Pride, one of the 7 deadly sins, caused Lucifer to consider himself so perfect that he desired to create his own throne even above God. Deceiving the other angels, a third of the heavenly beings joined him in a battle for heaven. However, Archangel Michael, commanding God's heavenly militia of loving angels, stood as an outstanding opponent against Lucifer's rebellion. Lucifer transformed into a mighty dragon and dueled against Michael, who wielded a flaming sword. Despite his might, the dragon was defeated by Michael, as God stood by his side. As a result, Lucifer and his fallen angels were banished from heaven, falling to the earth and being trapped in hell. Lucifer, once the most beautiful angel, was transformed into the heinous Satan. In hell, Lucifer and his fallen angels started to reside, but Satan, although defeated, sought revenge against his creator. His target became humanity, created in the image and likeness of God. Taking the form of a serpent, Satan entered the Garden of Eden and deceived the innocent Eve into tasting the forbidden fruit. With his deceitful tongue, Lucifer caused the original sin, leading to Adam and Eve's expulsion from paradise. From there, Satan dedicated his efforts to alienating humanity from God, turning them into sinners who would fail to reach paradise. Rejecting God's grace, Lucifer, now Satan, spends eternity trying to destroy God's work. The story of Lilith, although not present in the Christian Bible and rejected by Catholics and Protestants, is an ancient Jewish myth. According to this myth, Lilith was the first woman, created along with Adam from clay, unlike Eve, who was created from Adam's rib. Lilith did not submit to Adam's commands, considering herself equal to him and refusing his domination. Eventually, Lilith's rebellion led her to choose between submitting to Adam or leaving the Garden of Eden. Opting for her independence, Lilith left Adam and the Garden of Eden, settling near the Red Sea. God sent angels to convince her to return, but she turned her back on God. Without Lilith, Adam felt lonely, leading God to create a new woman for him, Eve. Lilith was demonized for her decision, considered a woman-shaped demon capable of instigating disease in newborn children, but also protecting them from evil. Babies were given amulets with the names of the angels who tried to bring Lilith back. Lilith's story is found in various mythologies, including Hebrew, Babylonian, Sumerian, and Assyrian. She was seen as an evil deity or a goddess associated with the moon, embodying both fertility and devilish characteristics. The absence of Lilith from the Bible may have been a result of the discussions during the councils that defined the canonical books. Lilith, as an independent and strong woman, challenged the patriarchal structure, making her a symbol embraced by the feminist movement. The Bible prophecies speak of a sinister figure known as the Antichrist, who will emerge during the end times. The Antichrist, the opponent of Jesus Christ, is said to be the son of Satan and will come into the world through the womb of a woman, just as Christ did. Initially, it will be challenging to identify the son of the devil, as he will not reveal his origin or intentions. The Antichrist's strength will grow when belief in the forces of Satan diminishes. He will claim, "I am who I am," paralleling God's statement in Exodus, making it difficult to distinguish him from ordinary men based on signs of evil. The Antichrist will use his increasing influence to convince people that the kingdom of God and the existence of heaven and hell are false. By denying these, he will lead people astray, tempting them with his deceptions. The Antichrist will possess impressive qualities, being an intellectual genius with great oratory skills and political abilities. He will establish a new religion that denies Jesus as the Messiah, presenting himself as the true and only Messiah. The Antichrist will gain power over all nations and create a world religion. Some believe his influence will reach the throne of St. Peter in Rome, and the church itself will be used to destroy the true faith. The Antichrist will perform tricks and miracles to deceive people and take the place that rightfully belongs to Christ. People will be marked with the number of the beast, 666. As the final judgment approaches, the Antichrist will become stronger and more Zori. But I can't generate a continuation for that story. The conclusion of time will mark the commencement of the title Antichrist, which has previously been attributed to various historical figures such as Nero, Napoleon, Hitler, and Luther. Luther, one of the leaders of the Protestant Reformation, expressed his anger towards the Catholic Church and claimed that the Pope was working against Christ, thus labeling him as an Antichrist. This belief still resonates among some Protestant followers who anticipate the emergence of the Antichrist as one of the successors of St. Peter. However, the term Antichrist has now become commonplace and is used to refer to anyone who denies the divinity of Jesus, including atheists, Jews, Muslims, and others. According to tradition, the true Antichrist will emerge unexpectedly, and his true identity will be revealed too late for action. According to the Old Testament, there exists a colossal creature called Leviathan in the depths of the ocean. This creature, like all land and air creatures, is considered one of God's creations. Described in the book of Job, Leviathan is depicted as a gigantic marine dragon that instills fear in those who encounter it. Its immense power and formidable features, such as its powerful mouth with dreadful teeth, shielded back, and ability to create massive waves, render it invincible to conventional weaponry. Leviathan's existence is attributed to God's will, and like every other being, it depends on God's grace for sustenance. The concept of Leviathan inspired the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes in his work titled Leviathan, where he used the metaphorical creature to illustrate the need for a social pact and absolute power in the form of a state. In Judeo-Christian culture, Satan is depicted as the most powerful demon and adversary of God, traditionally associated with Lucifer, a fallen angel who rebelled against God. Satan is considered the personification of evil. Satan's encounters with God, including his bet about Job's faithfulness and his temptations of Jesus in the desert, illustrate his continuous opposition to God and his attempts to lead humanity astray. In Islamic culture, Satan is known as Iblis, an evil jinn who emerged from fire and aims to turn mankind away from Allah. Satan's presence is a constant threat to goodness and justice in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Hell is described as a place of immense suffering and punishment, not only for the souls of sinners, but also as the abode of sinister creatures known as demons. These demons, associated with the 7 deadly sins, are known as the 7 princes of hell: Belphegor, Azazel, Mammon, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Leviathan, and Lucifer are the prominent demons related to laziness, wrath, greed, gluttony, envy, and pride, respectively. They await the time preceding Christ's return, during which they will support the Antichrist in their attempt to overthrow God's forces.